Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Lost Initiative Edge of Morality. Week 12, we're back. What's up? Freaking Maggie's got a muscle suit on, and it's just the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Who is that? What have you done with Maggie? Where is she?
That is so awesome.
Really good look.
Man, it's been, what, 2 weeks since we've played? This is, we were going to play last week, and then I got so sick that I just couldn't leave bed, so that's my fault. I apologize. And then the week before
How
that,
dare you?
I know. I honestly...
We're all ready to go.
I know. I'm
How
so
dare
sorry.
you?
I know. I honest to God, I was trying to like be good enough to at the very least run the stream from behind the scenes, but not play. Like just put like I'm not here, but I'm running it. And then anytime I moved, I got like violently ill. So it was really fun. It was a good time. But we're back after we had such an awesome session in week 11. Week 11 was probably one of the best, if not the best session we've had. A lot of stuff happened. We saw the dark side of Rye. We saw Otto for like the first time get serious and worried about the party. We saw Grommen just talk to an animal but destroy creatures and learn that she's getting in touch with nature. And Thonk almost died. She saved Thonk's life. When it came down to it, when Thonk was going to die, Grommen
I genuinely thought you were gonna die.
I really did too. I was this close, man. I thought I was
rooting
done.
for it.
It was
Come on, man. There's a connection between Thonk and Rye. It's thin. It's very thin.
There is.
There is. In Thonk's heart, there is.
I was about as sure.
Thonk has no heart.
I was as sure you were gonna die as I was sure that the Patriots were going to lose the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Well, they were real close
I
for
was
a while.
reserved to it. Yeah.
I actually, at one point, like after halftime, I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's a disaster.
I had accepted the loss
Yeah.
like midway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
It was a pretty
That comeback though.
Yeah. But then like it's like not only do we get to see Roger Goodell eat shit, not only did Tom Brady get his 5th win, but they are the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history, and he broke records in Super Bowl like completion yards. I'm like, that is just the perfect story.
It's just Patriots porn, really.
Yeah, it really was. It was absolutely Patriots porn.
It was.
I'm fine with that.
great.
You know, I don't mind a little Patriots porn every now and again.
Well,
This is an approachable topic for D&D nerds, right?
I know, right?
Football?
We can
American
listen,
football?
man. Like fantasy sports,
You
fantasy
can't like
sports
both?
is just
Like-
D&D for
Yeah, no,
jocks.
it
That's
is.
all it is.
That's true.
Also, for everybody in chat who's subscribed, I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a brand new emote. It's the hype emote. I think it looks great.
Ooh.
So if you are subbed, spam the crap out of it. Enjoy it. Thanks to everybody who was resubbing, subbing, hosting. It's fantastic. I'm going to hand it off to Scott, and I think we should just dive in. So
While Maggie plays Fire Emblem Heroes.
No pun intended, because we all
I'm
just.
trying to get some social
That's
going
true.
on, man. I'm trying
we
to,
almost just
trying to
nearly
post
drowned. Well, you did
ramen
fine,
selfies,
Rye.
man.
You didn't die almost, Rye, did you? You kicked ass.
I tried to climb up off that rock and fell in like 3 times,
All right, that's true.
but I made it.
But
And
after
we
you,
also
like-
had a potion of climbing.
Yeah,
that we
you have to
Yeah,
remember.
we gotta remember.
I carried the 2 others first, and I took them to land.
Yeah.
I also
and then
failed
came
to
back get
swim,
you.
and then had to get carried by. But it's fine.
You after you like wrecked ass on the boat though. You
And now I have a
kicked ass.
dislocated arm. Great.
Alright,
No,
you know,
no,
it's fine.
that's not true. That's not true.
No, that got healed.
It's no longer. Yeah, he took care of it. It took him like
It's
8 or
3.
9
It took me
tries
3 tries.
of like kind of wiggling it around in there and.
Whatever.
I don't know if you've ever had an arm relocated, but
No.
it's gonna be in a sling for a while.
Okay. Well, in fantasy world, it's fine. Don't worry. I can just slap a really quick healing spell on it after it's located, and you're good.
There you go, boom.
Yeah.
A healing
No,
spell.
I really like that
locate
idea.
it, but a healing spell will take care of the rest of the healing afterwards. So
Yeah.
would you slap that healing spell on?
No,
Ryan?
not right away. But I'm gonna tell you something that the bullies told me every time they punched me in high school. Pain is just weakness leaving the body, so you're fine.
Really? Really? Oh god.
This is like the origin story of Thonk.
You're starting to figure it out. You're starting to figure it out.
I feel like that's the same line my brother used.
It got used on me all the time. When they do like little punches, and they'd be like, just shut up. Pain is weakness leaving the body. I'm toughening you up. And I'm like, ow.
On the
Stop.
brighter side of
Excuses
things,
for it. He just beat the shit out of me.
Oh, God.
on the brighter side of things, Scott, you need to do some kind of like love theme for this episode, whatever it may
Love
be.
theme. We're in like some
Yeah,
fucking
'cause
haunted ass
Valentine's Day is
castle.
coming up. It doesn't have to be with us, but you know.
Some sort of love scene. You know, I think something like that might be able to be arranged.
Make
Who's
it happen.
But with all the votes, who shipped the most recently?
Otto
I think
X Rye or Grommen X Otto. Otto's involved in both.
Otto and Grauman, I think, is.
It doesn't mean that we have
Yeah.
to be
Auto Grommen.
involved.
Otto
I'm just
Grommen.
afraid that
Can I get some
Grommen
Kappa
would-
Pride in the chat?
Oh, never mind. Never mind. So somebody's going to be, I think it's going to be Rye and Thunk locked away again with
Yeah.
rose petaled beds. And, yeah. All right.
All right, pick it up. Take it away, Scott. Let's go.
Absolutely. So where was it? Where we were last time? You were leaving the city. There were whispers in Rye's ear that had led her to buy tickets on a ship to as far west as possible. Hopped on that ship. Terrible things happened along the way. The ship ended up being chased by pirates, attacked by Sahagin, storm wrecked, all in a very short period of time. It wasn't like this was over the course of a long journey. It was all in a very short period of time. The party just barely got out. Rye's arm was dislocated. Thunk was drowning. Brahmin was like a boss, saving everybody. Otto came to a moment of realization when he was up on the ledge watching his friends almost dying. It was like, no, wait, I'm now in tune with this loot. And he's kind of like in this moment, he kind of like was reaching anywhere. Like, how can I help my friends? And kind of by reaching outward and inward at the same time, realized these magics that he didn't realize he had before, and used a spell, levitation, to help Grommen help Thonk, saved his life. Everybody gets up there. We're all saved. You go into a cave, even though it's like pouring out and it's cold outside or whatever. Inside the cave, it just seems to be so cold, so cold. It's literally like your teeth are chattering. Everybody's uncomfortable. Try to spark a fire, but there's no wood around because everything's saturated. And walking around a little bit, you notice the trees all seem to be dead in this area. The trees around the castle seem to be dead in this area. You travel a short distance to finally get to the castle, just to at least get out of the cave, which seems to be so cold. Like, we didn't really want to go here, at least until the storm passed, but now we are. You make your way through the front area with like the portcullis or whatever that is stuck open, somewhat rusted. The whole place seems like it's been aged for who knows how long. Make your way through the courtyard where the doors seem to be kind of rotted and a little broken, and finally go into just the front room where it has a few doors coming off of the front room, and everybody just kind of slumps right here, just like, at least it's a place where we can catch our breath. And if I remember correctly, everybody was planning on spending the night here, at least 8, 9, 10 hours, just relaxing, healing up, maybe sobbing over being thrown from a ship or nearly drowning or broken arm and all that stuff. However, as everybody settles in, and we did all of our chats or whatever at that time, as everybody settles in, as everybody's relaxing, a little bit of time passes, an hour, 2 hours, somewhere in there. Nobody's really counting, the minute hands on a watch. Everything just kind of seems to be drawn from them as it is anyways. You notice that this area, the entrance of the castle, starts to slowly get a little bit colder. As you're resting there. And even though it was already cold to begin with, now you're starting to be able to see your breath. So sitting around the area, no fire before you, just trying to grab whatever. I mean, everything's saturated, everything's soaked. All your basic adventure gear is lost, though, of course, your more prominent
And
stuff is still with you.
I was able to determine last session, because I rolled like a 20 on my wisdom or religion check or something, that like it was definitely like unnatural, supernaturally effed.
Yes. So like you weren't sure whether it was specifically like a desecrate spell or something like
Right.
that, but you definitely knew there was there was some supernatural entity or darkness or something. There's some aura here that is drawing this what feels like cold temperature or breeze or whatever going through you. So here you are, sitting on the floor, and everybody thinking they're going to get a moment to relax, and that moment has very quickly passed. Probably the first person to notice the cold, I would say, is Grommen, because he's always half naked. So.
I was gonna say Grauman's comfortable, but you're saying that he doesn't like this weird feeling.
Grommen has no problem being in cold weather. He grew up on a mountaintop in the Vasa, which is the very far north. He is very accustomed to cold weather. No, not that he's going to survive the far north without big skins on him, but he's very accustomed to cold weather. This is very cold to Grommen. It seems to hit him first. Everybody, however, is experiencing it.
So Grommen has, I have an ability that allows me to like, kind of, it's like a survival thing because I'm an adventurer or whatever. Is there anything around that would keep Grommen warm?
So as you were traveling through the outdoors and making your way in here, there would have been if it wasn't pouring out. There was so much wood that would easily count as kindling or just, wood for a fire, except it just saturated. It's so wet right now, and there's no means to just instantly dry it.
Okay.
Inside the castle.
Maybe not fire, but like some kind of thing that he can makeshift a blanket out of?
Not that you saw on your way into the castle, and you have not gone beyond the initial few doors yet.
All right. Well, Grommen is going to kind of like, use his arms and kind of like, when you're cold and you're just trying to keep yourself warm, it makes a little bit of friction. And he's going to be like, Grommen cold.
Okay. How's everybody else reacting to this?
I'm on guard. I'm noticeably on guard.
Mm-hmm.
Otto's just rocking back and forth in a corner with his teeth chattering.
All right. Grommen's going to go over and like, kind of like help keep Otto warm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There it is. There's the ship right there. Grom and Otto going to warm each other up.
Rye's just like covered in wet furs, and her face is just kind of like buried in her legs.
Oh yeah, you have that big blanket, basically.
We all know how to fight hypothermia we must cuddle, right?
Yeah, body temperature, man.
Getting naked is ideal, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's like totally legitimate.
That's why.
Yeah, supposedly skin on skin contact.
We just got all of us have to spoon, like everyone.
Yeah.
Spoon it
It's
up.
gonna have
This
to
was Scott's idea of making the whole.
This is it.
What's our ideal spooning position? It's gonna be like I'm gonna have to be in the back, I think.
I think Grommen's on the outside.
No,
and
yeah, I'm
then
gonna be in
Scott's
the
on the
front.
other outside, and we can cuddle like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I'd be like the littlest spoon and then go right. Yeah, no, this will work. This is good. It's a good system.
So just to change the subject as much as
Scott's like, I'm over.
This was fun for about 5 minutes. I'm done.
So it's funny that you mentioned specifically Rye's saturated big heavy cloak. Actually, I imagine it would not be wet. I imagine it would be very dry. The reason being you have prestidigitation. Yeah, Rye has prestidigitation, and she would be able to completely dry her clothing and her furs and everything to stay warm inside there. So Rye would probably be the last one to be hit by this by the cold coming in, but it does seem to be, as Thonk noticed beforehand, a supernatural cold.
You actually see Thonk kind of clasp. He's always has he's very obviously like worships Grimish, but he grabs his holy symbol and like is holding it tight. Not in like a scared way, but almost in a threatening way, like almost ready to use it for something. Mm-hmm. He's just prepared. He's on edge.
So is there like a second doorway in front of us?
So when you guys initially walked in the front area, there's a few places that you could have gone. There's a little hallway off of this front room. There are 3 doors, one to your left, one to your right, and one in front of you. And there's also a stairwell going upstairs. So it was a matter of where it is that you wanted to go. None of the doors at this point had been peeked in. And I believe that was just for safety's sake. Everybody was a little concerned. Like, okay, we don't know what's in this castle. If there's like monsters, let's just hope that they don't notice us. So.
Okay.
I just wish I had something I could detect, but I don't.
Otto is sitting there shivering with Grommen doing whatever he can to warm him up.
Grommen's gonna
go inside.
Inside all the way.
You see Thonk shake his head. This cold air does not come from from nature. It may be just as cold the further in we go.
Then we know go inside.
Is it getting like as time passes? Is it getting notably more and more cold?
Yeah. So like I said before, it was always cool to begin with because it's a rainstorm in the late summer, early fall. But the temperature was always comfortable enough beforehand. Now it got to the point where you can see your breath and you can feel it's not like it's a direct amount, but every 10 minutes or so, it's like another degree colder. That means like 6 degrees in an hour is a pretty intense shift.
That's a huge shift.
Mm-hmm.
Thonk looks around and it just looks like it takes a minute to think, and then he just says, "Whatever's here, I think is approaching us.
Grauman's gonna immediately stand up and pull out his axe then, because he thinks that you mean that it's happening.
No, you like I said, you see Thunk. He's like on edge, and you see him. He'll pull his spear.
Otto will recognize the danger and stand up, shivering, but hand at the ready.
Rye's like trying to assess the situation. She can't hear anything. She doesn't like ready a weapon or anything, but she kind of like stands up against the wall, and then like goes to peer around the corner towards the stairwell just to see if anything's there.
So you go to look at the stairwell, just kind of like look upstairs and see if there's anything up there. And you don't see anything. As a matter of fact, there's barely any light up there. It doesn't matter. You have dark vision anyways. But you can tell there's barely any light up there that's coming through whatever windows may be up there. There's no torches lit, nothing like that. And it is a dark, gloomy day. This would be the day to have one lit. So.
Okay.
I'll look to the party. We can proceed inside if you choose. Just be ready to fight.
Anywhere's better than here.
So with that being said, what is the general consensus? You guys looking to move in or move up?
I guess the only thing that Grauman is thinking is, because like you just said that it will be colder when we go inside. Grauman's going to be like, so we go inside, but you say colder inside.
The cold may persist. This temperature is not naturally occurring. Magics of some sort. I can't tell what kind.
Magics. He kind of like thinks about that, and then he all of a sudden gets like this really like angry face, and kind of nods at you.
Oh man, the transition in faces for Grauman, it's like magics. So
There's a reason.
Oh yeah, I know.
So where do you guys go? In or up?
I think Rye like puts one foot on the staircase and she kind of like nods to the group to head up.
Okay.
And she kind of takes point.
Okay. So you guys start making your way up the stairs, Rye leading the way. Now don't forget have whatever injuries lasted from before. A short rest did happen before this action came to play.
Mm-hmm.
So after the last combat with the Sahagin, Maggie did use two what are they called? HD to heal herself, correct? Or did you use only one?
I don't remember using any.
It was after the combat with the Sahagin where they beat on you for quite a while, and you healed yourself up because Thonk barely healed you, so we did a short rest for everybody to heal up. I think Thonk even used a short rest as well, and I know Otto.
I wasn't touched because they tried to hit me.
Everybody.
They hit me and then I sanctuaried and then I healed and now it's up to 21, so I didn't do anything after that.
Gotcha. So whatever abilities were used at the time, if any rages were used or spells were used, sans Rye, whose spells aren't affected by it, just make sure that that's tracked. And you guys start making your
You
way.
like changed our character sheets, so.
Come on. For yours should be, you couldn't hear me in the pre-show because you were having the thing. So on yours, I was saying that you're, you no longer have to add armor class or that's already been applied.
What the heck? It's like switching back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that was me clicking. So like right here, it says global saving throw modifier 1. That means from now on, when you roll your saving throw, it applies it for you. Okay, and you're good now.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any spell slots back though, do I? Because it's short rest.
No. You get everything back as a warlock when you short rest.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I have full HPs, so.
cool. Good.
I don't know how I got healed. I don't remember healing, and I'm looking back at our dice rolls, and it doesn't look like I healed.
I may have dropped a heal on you as well.
Yeah, I don't think I healed myself with any whatever you just said.
I'm pretty sure I dropped a heal on you.
It's fine as it is. So just keep track of whatever it was that was lost, used after last time. So whether it be rages or spells for him or spells for Otto.
Okay.
So next time, so you guys start making your way up the stairs, and
Well, yeah, I think the goal was that we were trying to rest in the castle thing, but yeah.
yes, exactly. That was the goal, and it was interrupted. You guys are making your way up the stairs. So as you make your way up the stairs, everybody's quickly able to see that you come up into a room that has a few doors coming off it, 3 doors coming off of it. The room is about 10 feet by about 7 feet by 10 feet in size, 3 doors coming off. You can quickly tell by the stonework here, the type of doors and whatnot. These are probably bedrooms that are up here. It's not like any big hallways or anything nefarious. And walking over even towards one door that seems to be rotted or broken over the passage of time, you can quickly look inside without even touching it and see that it is in fact the bedroom on the other side of one of them. Do you guys choose to search through them, or?
I'm gonna look for a blanket I can wrap around myself.
Absolutely. So probably going into that one room that was easily been able to see in before, you go in there and you can see, again, the furniture that's in here is just old and decaying and rotted. There is, in fact, blankets on the beds, but they're old and tattered and have holes inside them, probably from moths or whatever over the course of many years. And you can grab a blanket, you can wrap it around yourself. It's just a tattered old blanket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little something.
Mm-hmm. Searching through the other rooms, you see that they're similarly made. Two of them are smaller. One of them is very large. They all have beds. They all have furniture. Everything is just old and decaying. But each one of the rooms also does have windows looking outward. As a matter of fact, as you're up there and you walked away, you can still feel the cold kind of persisting. As you guys walk away, you are able to look out the windows if you choose to, but otherwise there's nothing else on this floor. And
I'd like to look out the window. Yeah, I'd like to see where we're at.
Sure. So looking out the windows, you can see down into the, depending on which window you're looking out, you can see back inland where the trees, as far as you can see, it's a bit dark outside with the storm, the overcast. But you can see that the trees out there are in fact on every side rotted and dead. You can see overlooking the area that looks off the cliff and down the cliff face where it was that the boat was broken. You can not see quite as much from this angle, but that's okay because the stairwell you walked up, it did come to this landing, but it did continue going up as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I keep going up then?
Yeah. If you guys want to.
Yeah, where's the party at here? Where we all?
We're just like single file Scooby Dooing through the building.
Yeah, we're just kind of like taking it slow, going room to room. So if you head up, I will stay close.
All right, yeah, I'll head upstairs. I'm going to be, kind of cautious here, like, step by step. I'm really trying to make sure I'm not triggering any sort of medieval trap or anything like that.
Why would there be one of those?
Well, yeah, who knows?
So as you make your way up the stairs, this time it goes up a little bit more than last time did. And when you finally get to the top of the stairs, it actually stops at a ceiling hatch that would open up to maybe a roof or whatever overhead. So there is a hatch over your head. It's made out of extremely thick wood with iron bands or steel bands on it. So it has held against the passage of time well enough that you can't see out of it. And it is heavy enough that it would take a good oomph from Otto to open, though maybe Grommen could do so relatively easily.
Yeah,
Grommen will help open it.
Otto yells back, "Somebody bigger, come open this!"
Grommen goes and just like touches it.
Yeah, with the greatest of ease, the thing opens up. And it does, in fact, open out into, as soon as you open it up, a little bit of water that was pooling on the roof before kind of spills in and soaks Grommen. And then with it open to the sky above, rain is pouring down on poor Grommen's head.
Grommen's going to immediately close it.
Otto just starts laughing.
So you guys choose to, obviously Grommen immediately closes it. I'm sure it turns around and gives like a bit of a sour look to it.
So we should head back down into the main room then, right?
Sure.
Because that was that stairwell going all the way up. We've hit everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
Unless you go on the roof, that is everything coming up. You guys can head back down to that main room, which had the 3 doors in the hallway coming off of it.
When we get to the main room, though, before we proceed, I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to say a quick prayer, and you're going to see my eyes take a quick red flash, and you see I cast Detect Good and Evil. So for the duration, which is a minute concentration, I'll know if there's any aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, as well as where the creature is located. I'll also know if the place has been within 30 feet magically consecrated or desecrated.
Okay.
The spell can also penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by a foot of stone. And the spell's there.
So the The spell that you cast, you take a couple moments, you say hold up to the rest
Yeah.
of the party, and you cast your spell and you start kind of concentrating, praying under your breath, and then finally you look around. And when you do, you can immediately see the waves of energy that there is in fact a desecration in this area. There is in fact dark energies here that for you, as I was describing beforehand, while you do feel that almost like cold air overtaking your body, at the same time, you weren't affected as much as everybody else with how the feeling was when you were in that cave. That feeling is starting to slowly overtake everybody here, but it's gradual. It's not happened yet as quickly as it did in the cave. But that cold still does affect you, which is not typically something lined up with the Desecrate spell. But you do see the energies of the Desecrate spell. You also do see other faint things there around, but what they are, it's too faint for you to be able to pick up.
Okay. And is Rye a fiend in my sight? I'm just laugh.
Humanoid, okay?
I know,
Humanoid.
I'm just teasing. So do I know the limitations of what Desecrate does as a spell? Because I don't have it on my spell list. So I'm assuming my character probably doesn't or may know like basics.
Why don't you do me a favor and roll me an Arcana check, because that would be to
Sure.
understand the art. The weave.
No, I do not have any idea.
No idea. Oh,
Too bad it's not a religion. Damn it.
poor Thonk. But you know what you can do? Do you say this out loud, or do you keep this to yourself?
Oh, I'll say it because I've already been openly musing about it, and I'll say as I thought. The place has been desecrated.
That
The what?
Well, if they have Arcana, they can make an Arcana check, right? So if you
Yes,
have
sir.
knowledge Arcana, make an Arcana check and see if your character knows.
Yeah, all right.
Don't.
I do not.
I don't.
Hell
know what-
yeah, Otto.
Damn.
Okay, so the Desecrate spell, you know that the energies that are there, Otto, who seems to know everything, you know that the Desecrate spell, it seems to enhance the power of evil spells, of evil magics, as well as inhibiting the power of goodly spells and goodly magics. You know that it also enhances the abilities of undead creatures. So any unlife that might be in the area, usually this kind of spells that you find over a graveyard or in some sort of evil master lair. It's kind of funny because it's a very similar spell to, I described before that for Thonk, it was not so aggressive against him, but it was somewhat familiar to Grommen. The reason why I described it that way is because Grommen lived in a land that was controlled by a great, powerful undead creature. And so this area, the whole countryside was covered by one of these spells before, but of a much more powerful one than this. This spell will not really sap the life out of people, though, or cause people to be like cold or anything like that.
So the cold is something separate.
The cold seems to be something separate.
Mm-hmm. I convey this information to the team
Right.
What he said.
in the most concise manner possible.
I'll urge the party to not move fast, but explore a little bit quicker, as my Detect Good and Evil doesn't last longer than about approximately a minute. And I'd like to cover as much ground as I can with the spell.
Based off like the structure of the rooms, you can the room that you're in, the hallway, the walls, where the doors are. You know that one of the rooms in that initial foyer area, especially since you spent so much time here, is going to be a relatively small room. One's going to be like probably a medium-sized room, and then the hallway and the other door will go to much different areas. So I imagine you want to start with the small room first.
Sure.
Finally opening that door. I'm sure it's been a point of curiosity for several of the party members until this point.
I guess
Finally-
after whoever's checking for traps, Grommen will open every door.
Sure. Do we have somebody shopping for traps, Rye?
No one? Okay.
I'm
I've
not.
been
Right,
mindful
right.
of my own space.
Rydas opens the door with thaumaturgy. She doesn't even reach for the handle. She just looks at it and it just like clicks and swings open.
So I believe Grommen actually has special saves against traps and whatnot, doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not that you want to
also,
be foolish about it. But.
if Grommen sees this, Grommen's going to be like, how you do? Teach me.
I can't teach you.
Why?
You're too big.
Grommen gets real sad.
Otto
Sad.
comes up. Does that mean I can learn?
So
Oh, you knew.
She just walks into the room. She just walks into the room.
So the initial room turns out to be a room where either quick guests or servants or whatever would stay. This is just a few beds that are long decayed. Everything's long decayed in here. Not even really any storage space for anybody staying inside here. It's just a quick area for guests or servants to spend the night in. The other medium-sized room, this one happens to actually be like a meeting room or an antechamber where if you would have guests coming in for a relatively quick meeting, that off of that room has an old storage room, like a pantry that has like long rotted barrels of wine that have long since leaked onto the floor and evaporated. Old barrels of what would have been food, and you can clearly tell by the stains of mold and whatnot on the walls, or where there's stains that mold would have been a long time ago on the walls. Where that area is, you can almost still smell the slight decay in there from the food.
Is there any wine left?
No, sadly, everything has been completely
Okay.
corroded to the point where it's all leaked out. There's a fireplace there, an old rotted table where you would have sat with your guests with some old rotted chairs around it. Leaving those two rooms, because there doesn't seem to be anything of note inside them, there's the hallway or the door. I assume the third door, just to finish it off.
Yeah.
Opening that door and going inside, this opens up to a significantly larger room. So whoever it was that ruled this keep of this area, there is a long room. Off of the room down by the area where you are, there's another stairwell that's going up, as well as a very short hallway going ending with a door on the other side of it. But this long room has a table on either side of it running the length of the room. At the far end of the room, at the top of a little step up, so probably like a 2-foot step up, so one step to get there, and then finally on the top of the landing, with a long table going perpendicular to the other two, and a very large chair sitting in front of it. It's kind of like the typical thing you would see in a throne room with, all the lords and ladies and subjects on these sides, and then who it is that actually rules the area up in the top area. So walking in here, once again, it's just all the furniture, everything's rotted. Walking into the place and looking around a little bit, not going quite to the stairwell or the other door yet, you see that there are more windows that look off of this area. As time's passing, again, it's getting colder and colder as you're walking, but I know you pick up your pace, so you feel it getting colder. So as you guys are going in there, you can see the windows open up, and it gives you, depending on which window you're looking through, a different but equally beautiful view looking out into the cave, into the cliffside that drops down below into the water. But there's really nothing of note in that area. Do you guys want to roll like an investigation check? Does anybody really spend time looking out the windows, or do you just kind of want to make your way to the stairs? Or
Thonk is very much keeping things, at least for him, moving, because I want to be able to scan as much of this as possible while the spell's active.
Sure.
Grauman will look. What do I roll? An investigation?
Investigation would be to look through the room. If you guys want to kind of like peek out the windows, that'd be a perception check. What would,
I think he would look out the window, maybe not so much investigation, but
And I'll look around the room.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Rai is looking around the room as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so that's Thonk, Rai, and Otto are all looking around the room.
Thonk is not. Grauman.
Well, Thonk is looking with his
Oh,
magic.
yeah, he's just scanning.
Looking around the room, trying to see what they can. 1 for magical auras and 2 for other things in here. One of the things that you guys notice is what you don't notice. So you see that there are, for the first time, like actually searching, you see that there is no real footsteps. Like there were a couple of footsteps, like tracks that went from the initial door you walked in to get in here, leading over to the other door in this room that I just described that was in the short hallway. But over by the area where like the throne chair is and the windows are and stuff like that, the only footsteps or tracks that you can see there of kicking up old dust are your footsteps. And they're very noticeable. You guys know your steps by now. You're pretty familiar with each other. Grauman, however, looking out the window, what Grauman happens to see is the shipwreck, it going down, a few bodies still kind of floating that haven't been fully taken by the sea yet. But more importantly, Grauman actually sees somebody had just finished climbing over the ledge of the cliff, and it's one of the crew members had just finished climbing over the ledge of the cliff and is lying on the ground like coughing up water and just trying to catch their breath, like as he's looking out the window.
But Grauman can't tell who it is. He can only tell that it's a person out there.
It's a person. You're guessing based off the clothing that they're wearing that it was one of the crew members of the ship, but it's too far. It's too dark. I know you have dark vision. It's too far. It's too dark, and they're kind of turned away from you and huddled up, so you can't make out who it is. Definitely not the captain.
In the future, when my eagle vision is better, I'll be able to see it crisp. Anyways, Gromit points out the window and goes, look, I see person.
Otto is intrigued by this, runs up to another window and tries to look out and see for himself.
Mm-hmm. So each window looks at kind of a slightly different direction. So that other window, you kind of go over there and you're like, oh, I can't see anything. And Grom's like, no, here. And you make your way over to the window that Grom was looking through, easily sharing the space together. And you
just lift me up to peer out.
You guys look through the window, and with your 16, you're also able to see this person kind of huddled up on the ground. A few moments have passed, so they seem to be like catching their breath a little bit. They've moved from like the fetal position to kind of being on all fours, and they're like heaving and trying to catch their breath. Again, this is a good distance away, so you're really struggling to even get these details.
Rye kind of like walks up and presses her face on the glass as well. See what they're talking about.
Uh-oh.
Lost Maggie.
Yeah.
She can't see anything.
And then Gromit disappeared.
And everybody's screen region gets completely borked.
Did it really?
Yeah. When her camera disappeared, so the screen regions got fudgered.
What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
Well, you know what we can do? Do you want to just take a quick break right now, a little early as opposed to a little late?
Sure.
And that way we come back, it's nice and clean for everybody.
I think Maggie just sent me a DM on Twitter anyway. So yeah, we'll be back. We'll take our first break, like 5 minutes early. Go grab a drink. We'll be back. Go to the bathroom.
Find out who it is on the beach.
Hell yeah. See you in a minute.
Beach.